Oh, hey, lots of clicking and clacking going on over there. You playing
Welcome back.
you playing Marvel Rivals or something?
I I pressed the wrong button.
Oh.
Uh, hello there, Nate. We're gonna get to that. Hey, everybody over there.
You
Axel.
again, YouTube on this side,
Oh,
Instagram over here.
yeah.
Nobody will remember that except for us because we're the ones
But we're
actually
talking to everybody.
we are.
Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Hopefully you could hear me. I'm getting out.
Amos says hello there. Hello, hello. Yeah, hopefully so. Can y'all hear us? Carrie's here. Welcome, welcome. We're getting back into the swing of things with
Krista, hello
season
there.
4 of this little
It has
podcast. We're on season 4. Can you believe that?
Rhode Island. Welcome.
Hello, hello.
Oh yes, all the beautiful faces,
We've
beautiful
actually
names.
Sunfield's here. We've actually been to Rhode Island. I had family that lived in Rhode Island for a while.
I think we just drove through.
I think maybe we had a meal there at one point. You and me, but I've been there. But it's we're in season 4 of Princess and Scoundrel.
Season 4
Technically our first live of this season, although we did go live
at the beginning of the year.
Yeah. Talking
So
about
this is like the live after the live.
live. Was it right after the marathon? I think it was. Can't recall.
This chat jet. I need to break out the popcorn.
Do we have drama?
I get. Oh, just because last time we were
Fighting?
yeah, we weren't fighting. We were just having a conversation.
Oh, that's what we tell the
Passionate.
kids.
My Latin blood was
Oh my god. Not Latin, you're
getting
Russian.
getting
Rushing me
heated.
around everywhere. I mean maybe. Let's see how this unfolds. So many lives tonight. Who else is live?
But you're
Curious.
here.
Yeah, thanks.
So yes, thank you. Thank you for being here.
Mom and Dad were just talking. It's fine. We're in a really busy week right now.
We are.
And it's like not the busy that I like, where I like to be busy on one main thing and then like a secondary thing. And this is like 7 main things all at once is what it feels like.
7?
I don't know if I didn't count. I'm exaggerating.
Okay.
But
my God.
oh my God.
7 things.
Go
I mean,
with
so many
it.
things. Sorry.
It's
Do
like
it again. Tell me again.
So here's the thing. I like to be busy in the way where it's one main thing and then like one secondary thing.
Yeah.
But lately it feels like there's 7 main things going on.
That sounds incredibly. Hold on. That sounds incredibly stressful. Please tell us more.
You're so funny. Anyway, there's a lot going on. We have Mosh in 8 days.
Yeah.
How's your costume?
It's done, remember?
No,
It was done in my heart.
in your heart. How's your costume in IRL?
It's good. I think the thing is it's just because we have like I have an idea.
Yeah.
And it makes it that much more easy. And it's like not armor. That's the thing. Is like I think having armor makes it so much more complex.
Because you have to paint.
Yeah.
And with this,
And this is like soft.
It's all soft stuff. So it helps. I saw that, Nate. I'm sorry.
Hopefully it's manageable family things.
So.
But
yeah, I don't know what family things, but I saw you had to cancel your trip, which stinks. Because
you will be missed.
We're gonna miss you. But yeah, so we have Mosh in 8 days. We have purchased and acquired all of the elements of our costumes. We just have to put it together. So I'm hoping that's this weekend. And then Good Journey is in 30 days.
It's coming up.
30 days.
Deep breath.
Oh my God. I'm so excited for it, but at the same time now it's like we're doing a bunch of prep.
Yeah.
And like finalizing things. And I got an email yesterday that was like, your e-docs are ready to to view, and that's like what every single cabin needs. Like it's like a 30-page document of
Ugh.
just like everything, and it has luggage tags in there, and I'm like, oh god. Like I need to figure out how I'm gonna manage all of that. But yeah, there's just like a lot of stuff for that. We have what's going on in the mosh world
Oh, like,
beyond this mosh next week, what we're doing there. So there's work for that. I mean, it's not just
mm,
costumes we're making either. There's like all kinds of logistics for next week.
yeah, I mean,
I
yeah, I
took
think
a
that's the harder thing.
I took a conference call from Target earlier today.
Yes, Dad Vader, we will be at Celebration. As of right now, pending anything coming up.
Is it oh, Dad Vader asked, is are our costumes a mystery? I mean, we haven't like openly talked about it, but I don't think it's like a big so the whole theme is Empire Strikes Back. And so we're gonna each do a take on like an officer, like a punk kind of officer. But I think you and I went different ways with it. But I'm like, let's buy spikes and put spikes all over. I think I actually literally just bought the spikes like 10 minutes ago because I was like, oh, they got to come in time. Um,
I think the funny thing is you get so excited and like, I'm gonna do all these things,
oh yeah,
and you don't do it, and I'm
oh
the
yeah.
opposite where I was like, "I'm just gonna do this," and then, like, the day before, I'm like, "You know what? I
Get
think it needs a little bit more."
get the popcorn out, Krista. Here's where you aggravate the crap out of me. Is
Hey,
that
Julie.
no? Listen to me. Is exactly that. Is I will sit there and I will like panic, not panic, but I plan for all these things. And I know this it's exactly what is going to happen this time is that I want to do all these things and oh, I want to do this on this side and I want to do this here and on the back and I need to cut this and I need to sew this on. And I'll run out of time and half of those things will happen. I know this. In my heart I know this, but I have to mentally just work through the all of I want all these things. You bought one thing. You bought the base layer of your costume and you're like, that works. Like, okay. And I know when it is too late for me to make any more additions to my costume, you're going to do something that I could have done to mine. You're laughing because you know this is going to happen.
No.
And you have no defense. You have absolutely no defense. And you know that this is true. What do you have to say for yourself right now?
I'm just welcoming
Oh
everybody
my
in.
God. Julie, we've
Welc
missed you. I was thinking about you guys the other day. I was like,
I'm
oh, I
trying to
haven't
figure
seen them
out,
in so long.
my Canon sleep mask, so
Oh, I forgot about that. And
I don't think I've forgotten about it.
have you been enjoying the sleep mask that I let you borrow that one time?
I have when either you don't take it back or
Nah,
our kid doesn't take it.
she took my oh, no, yeah,
The other one takes it too.
no,
He takes it,
really?
yeah.
She took my
So,
bonnet
like,
the other day.
poor old dad just
She had like a big day the next day. She was like, I need to use your bonnet. I was like, okay. Thanks, Julie. I We'll see how this one goes. I just this time all I did was buy a bunch of stuff on Amazon, like a bunch of stuff, and um, I do need to modify like one thing. Get done.
yeah, right now and I've talked about it. I'm, like, obsessed with it, is this dang game. I am so obsessed with it, and that's all I think about. That is literally all I think about now.
Why are you looking at me when you tell them
I
that?
I'm
I am
I'm
well
telling you
aware.
because you are getting the brunt of it. Uh,
You don't say.
but but no, I think it's the elephant in the room right now.
Oh, you want to just dive right in?
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
before we do, we have a couple questions out there. Carrie asked, you might have to provide links to your costume pieces you purchased after Mosh.
See?
I do actually have a wish list, or not. It's not a wish list, but I have Amazon lists put together where everything that I have bought for Mosh costumes or like my old Star Cruiser costumes, I threw them in that list. So if anybody does want to make, and I think I've done it for you too. I just need to go back and look, but I will because think I pretty much sourced every single it's either from Amazon or it's like a Mosh item. Julie says, "Will you make it to Star Wars night in Disneyland?" I don't know. Because we're going to Celebration and we have a big trip to Japan in April, and most of the nights are like in April or early May. Now, we could very potentially go to one in early May. Maybe. But we'll see. But no, right now there's no plans. And I know tickets went on sale for that day.
Yeah.
And then Katie asked, "What kind of bonnet do you have?" Just like a silk bonnet to keep my hair in so it doesn't get. Oh, did you break it?
Hopefully not.
Um, oh, so that my hair doesn't get greasy, which is why I am wearing my beanie right now because your girl didn't bathe today, if we're being real honest.
It's second hair day.
It's way past second hair day. We're
Uh,
on, not way past. I think washed my hair Monday, day 3 hair. But it's not
Frizzy
I
or
bathe at no, I bathe at night, and I don't know what we were doing last night. Like, all of the sudden it was 11 o'clock at night. Because you've been playing Marvel Rivals so much, we've like fallen into this like new
oh,
nighttime
because
routine.
I'm not there to kind of like keep the routine. You're kind of like because y'all made those dalgonas.
We made Delgana from Squid Games. And so you came down to do that. And so, oh, that's what it was. And then bedtime kind of pushed a little bit later because that took forever. Oh my God. I need to post about it. But it took way longer. And then I had to put sheets on the bed. And so by the time it was time to go to bed, it was like 11. I was like, I'm too tired to take a bath. And then the day got
Yes,
away.
Nate.
I had car troubles today too.
Ugh.
Today was not my day.
I think that's where like I feel like my day kind of got off kilter. Is like
Yeah.
when you have those things that come up like that, and taking the car to the shop, and then you got to stay around there. They're gonna call you back, and
Yeah. Which is what basically ended up
it just
happening for our
takes
day.
the whole day.
So I have this rare condition in that I am a I would like to preface this and specify that I am a magnetic energy vampire, not just like a general energy vampire where I suck the energy out of the people that I'm talking to. I specifically suck the energy out of electronics and like batteries, magnets. That's my like the lamest superpower ever because I have no control over it. But there is something about me that is it's my magnetic personality where like truly all of my life like weird things die that shouldn't die
Electronic things.
electronically. And I understand that other things will die. But like we the I shouldn't even put
Wait,
this
wait,
out
wait,
there.
wait. What was that sentence you just had right there?
I don't even know what I said. Was it like a ooh,
Yeah.
so oh, that's what it was. I'm doing the same thing again. On our favorite things of the year video last year, one of the things that we really loved with that was that
Oh yeah, the bad.
wireless magnetic, like the MagSafe battery pack. Kid you not, 1 week after that video, I was on the treasure cruise and that was the only battery that I brought. And I'm taking so much content. My phone battery, like my battery dies fast anyway because I'm like this weird, like, because I'm so magnetic. But the thing dies. And so then I have no way to charge my phone. So I'd have to go sit in the cabin and like hardwire my phone.
Oh,
It was like olden
hold
days.
on. Oh, that seems so stressful.
It really was. Thank you for listening. Anyway, I do still highly recommend them because I emailed them. I like opened a ticket with customer service and they sent me out a new one.
That was great.
So it was really great. And that one's still working. But more often than I think is normal for any kind of human being, my car battery will die. And then
A
it
lot
gets
faster than.
a lot faster. I've had to replace so many car batteries, but it will die and then it'll get jumped. And then it just lasts for like another few months. And I don't think that's normal.
I just go with it.
I don't know. My boss was telling me last time this because it happened like a year or two ago. And at the time I was like, "Oh yeah, my car wouldn't start this morning, but I got to jump and I'm fine." And he's like, no, you're not. He's like, your batteries, you need to go replace it. And I was like, no, 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 it's fine. This happens all the time. I just get it jumped and then I'm good. And he's like, you're going to need to get a new battery. And sure, I was fine. It was fine. Is that normal? I don't know.
Oh, man. That sounds stressful.
Oh my
Oh, wait, did
God.
I
Are
cue
you
it
a,
too early?
yeah. No, that was you hit the wrong button for your responses, your canned responses. Fuel
No, I
rods.
mean, I think, yeah, we're kinda used to it now, like, just of electronics dying.
Well, I just don't know if like when your battery dies, if you can like resurrect it for a few more months. I don't know. There's just like there's always been just weird stuff with like electronics in me.
So, but
Fuel
catching up,
rods.
there was, um, May the 4th, Disney releases May the 4th for, Star Wars night. Danny, you are not late. You are just on time
Fun time. May 4th sounds like a great day to make plans.
for
Just
Star Wars things.
for Star Wars things, maybe. Who knows?
And then I think Dad Vader said something about uh other cons, Texas
Oh
cons.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He said Rebel Scum Con, ICC. There was another one. Uh, we did Rebel Scum Con last year, and I had a really good time with that one.
Yeah.
I'd like to go back, but
I
oh,
think it's checking schedules though. I
I think
think
it's
that's the
checking schedules. I think it's the same weekend as San Diego Comic Con.
ooh,
Let me hold on, because I remember when they announced it,
that's
and I
gonna
was
be a
like,
tough one then.
yeah, there's that one's not
You
gonna
need a
be
trickle
possible.
charger on your car? Oh, Danny's the car guy, so
What's
we
a
need
trickle charger?
it trickles your car or trickles your charger.
Like this? No.
That's for the late late show.
Ew. Oh no, Rebel Scum Con is August 8th through the 10th, but that's like
Okay.
a week or 2 weeks maybe after San Diego Comic Con. It's this year's stacking up to be like a busy travel year. It would be fun to go to that. Space Con in San Diego. I think that's
San Antonio.
oh San Antonio. San Antonio. We didn't go to that one. But I mean we could.
Wait. It's also called a battery tender.
There's a brand of trickle charger. You're just saying like two words
There's
that don't normally go together.
like what is it when they go tell you to go look for
Like a matter
blinker
daddy.
fluid?
You say blinker fluid?
Yeah.
The slow charger to maintain your battery. Maybe I need that. I don't know.
You need that for life. Keep your battery going.
Maybe. Maybe that's my problem is I like don't know how to relax and recharge myself.
You're always like,
And so I'm just like zapping
ah.
energy from the things around me. Twip twip.
Uh,
Guess what happened last week?
what?
It snowed.
Yeah, it did.
Yes.
It was like a dream, like a fever dream.
Well, Patrick's the one that reminded me over on Instagram. Said he's been all out of sorts since the snow. It's going around. Oh, like you're sick. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I misread that. So sorry. But yeah, the snow. It was crazy.
Yeah,
We have not had snow like that in Houston. I think it was like
not in my lifetime.
it was like 1960 was the last time that there was like considerable snow that actually like stayed on the ground and stuck for longer than like an hour. We've had like little dustings of snow here and there, but this was like we made two little snowmen. They were cute.
It was too cold. We could only go to
Yeah. It
two
was
little balls.
yeah, we ended up making them for the kids. I was the one out there making them too.
Yeah,
That's like my one snow skill. I could roll a snowball.
just keep going.
Yep,
Just
that
keep
was all I
rolling
was
it.
doing it. Not fully melted yet in Ohio. Ours melted. I was surprised it lasted as long as it did because I think it stayed
Like 2 days.
2.5 days. Awesome. Snow is great if you don't have to drive in it. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the city shut down.
It shut down
Like for the day that it snowed, it felt like it just shut down.
And people were not driving.
Nah, there was people driving.
There were
was videos.
some. Yeah, well, yeah. Like the one guy that was on the
The freeway.
yes, like sledding on the freeway. that was our chance. We didn't go sledding. We were
Yeah.
so upset about that. But
Well,
yeah, it
see,
was
but the thing is like we're not snow people, so we don't know what to like. It's just like go out there, you make some snowballs, throw them at each other for a little bit, and you're like, all right, it's too cold. Let's go back inside.
well, there was somebody in like the neighborhood Facebook group that was like, I drove around for an hour and not one kid threw a snowball at my truck. And I was like, we don't know what we're doing. We are complete noobs when it comes to the
Yeah.
snow. Like you don't throw anything at other people's cars, so we don't know if it's like socially acceptable. Although there was a
Oh,
police officer that drove by and he like got on the intercom and told the kids, he's like, "This is the only time you'll ever be able to throw a cop at a snowball."
throw a snowball at a cop car.
Throw a cop at a snowball. You know what I mean. But it said not get in trouble. And so he rolled his
That's
window
where you
up,
focused more, was not getting in trouble.
not getting in trouble. And so he rolled the window up and so the kids like each threw a snowball and then he rolled the window down and our daughter
Get her last
we were
shot
like,
in.
yeah, she did. Like we I don't know, it was just super funny. Like you said she wouldn't get in trouble. You didn't say.
Yeah, see,
Typically
up
frowned
north
upon.
they don't.
Yeah, like why would you throw a snowball at somebody's car? Calais, what's snow?
You you make it into a little snow cone.
Shave ice.
Yeah.
Ugh. Oh, there is. Well, we do still have a snowball in our freezer.
No, they melt. We took them all out. I think
No, we have a one
one.
snowball. I put it in a Ziploc and I saved it. But yeah,
Ooh.
the kids had like a whole tub that they just like shoveled like dirty, super dirty snow in, and they shoved it in the freezer. And I went to go get like food out of there a few days later, and I was like, absolutely not. Like, we are not keeping this. Don't eat the yellow snow. Absolutely not. Also, hey Tim. Uh and Rob's here too. Yeah, it was really fun. It was the first time that you've ever seen snow like that.
Yeah.
Like we've lived here our whole lives, but I have family up north and
So
so
you've got to play in it before.
yeah, and like in a very morbid way, it feels like all of my family that passes away, like they pass away in the winter. And so when I go up there for the funerals, like it's always snow.
Oh.
Snow on the ground or it's snowing. Um, but it's like literally every time I've gone up there for a funeral, it's been
Oh.
snowing. Weird. Calais said, "How can you tell if it's pineapple or banana flavored?" Though? Oh man. Um. Yeah. So we did that. We had snow on the ground here, and then we put the reel out there already. But Sunfield, if he's still in here, just texted me on a whim. Was like, "Hey, we're gonna throw Jack a birthday party tomorrow. Any chance you could make it?" I was like, I mean, I was the one that was like, "Oh, that'd be really fun. Let me go ask Steven." I'm like, but Steven's the one that like, here's the thing. I get big grand ideas. I would love to be spontaneous and do all of these things. And I'm like, yeah, let's go do this. And then you're usually like, well, babe, we have this and this and this. And like, oh, we can't do that because this. And like, it's not that you're like a party pooper. It's just that I get so excited and spun up and then you like help ground me again. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's not a good idea. And then you were like, I mean, we don't have anything to do. I was like, wait, what? It's usually like, Mom, can I go have a sleepover? And you're like, but you're like, yeah, go. And I was like, wait, what? Except I did want to go to the sleepover. And then we were on a plane in like less than 7 hours from that.
Well, I think it was a for me what I was thinking and kind of like um again we didn't have anything. Like
No.
yes, like there if there was like some reasonable thing like oh sorry like we gotta
I mean, I was supposed to help my mom move her plants back out of the garage from after the snow.
oh yeah
Sorry, Mom.
um but it got done.
Get done.
Um but like there was nothing like to to say oh we had to be here for this and I think I kind of saw it as like it's an opportunity like here's an experience like just kind of going on this wild adventure instead of just like staying at home playing video games type of thing,
Which you wanted.
which I wanted to,
I
but
know. Thanks for that.
I still went along for the ride.
But yeah, it was great. So we just like, oh, the only other problem though was
It was cold up there.
it was cold up there. There was snow up on the ground up there, and we had literally worn every single piece of warm clothing that we
The
had
week
because it was
before.
like yeah, like the 3 days leading up to that. So we had to do laundry like toot sweet. And so I'm like running through the laundry. You had to go help a family member out with like
Oh,
some
yeah.
tax
My mom,
stuff.
yeah, my mom.
And we were just like, it was, I remember I had recorded some of the stuff and I think I put it in there where you were still gone and we needed to leave in like an hour and a half and you had not packed a single thing yet.
But again, this and I've said this before. I think because I'm comfortable with going up there, like because we've been there before,
Yeah.
that I wasn't concerned with like clothes or bringing something.
Yeah.
Same thing if we were going to Florida. Like I'm not worried if I forget anything.
Cause you know, there's a Target or
Yeah.
we have
Like
people that thankfully we're the same size as so we can
yeah,
borrow clothes.
that's what I'm
And
saying. But like I'm not. That's what I'm not worried about. So
yeah.
it's just very much like I'll bring what I bring, and if I don't bring it, then
So be it.
so be it. I could get it.
Yeah.
So I think that's like the night like that stress for me is not there.
Yeah. No, it was, I don't know why I was so stressed out on Friday, but I was very stressed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was amazing. So we got there when we were en route to the airport because we fly into LaGuardia, which is on the other side of Manhattan from Jersey, where we were going. Um, the Lyft and Uber rides are usually pretty pricey. Like it's usually what around 100 to 150. I don't think we've ever seen $150, but it's like 100 to $130 each way from
Yeah,
the
it's
airport. And we were like, ugh, like we're gonna you were the one with the idea. You're like, see how much it is to rent a car. And it was gonna be the same amount
for the one
for
ride.
the one ride as it would have been to have a car for the whole weekend. And so we booked it on point, so we didn't even actually pay anything for it. And you drove through Manhattan. Oh, weird. I don't know why.
Well, welcome.
Welcome.
So let's see.
Welcome over
Nate
here.
says the indoor water park look rad.
Yep.
Yes. Um. Yeah, that was super cool. Again, I didn't understand why it was in. Maybe again, We don't live up there, but it was cold, and it's like a perfect thing to like get out of the cold. Like here, go do this. But again, you have the city and stuff like that, so like that's your thing. I get it, but
Yeah, but for those few hours that we were in the indoor water park, like you forgot that it was so cold
oh
outside
yeah,
and it was just fun. And we do not like we don't go in the pools on cruise ships, like we don't like community like water, like people soup basically. But it's like won me over because there was just a giant wave pool and like our whole family loved it. Everybody that was there loved it. Um, so that was cool. And then they had some big slides that were really scary slides that like drop out from under you. And I think Naomi was saying that you
go out of the
like
building.
go out of the building.
Yeah,
Ugh. But we didn't do that. And then there were like little slides. So our daughter did that for
but yeah,
felt like a
even
couple
what
hours.
Naomi was saying, there's amusement park, ski slope, Legoland, two mini golf court. Like
I didn't
that
know about
mall
the
is
mini
like
golf
it's
courses.
like huge, and
There's
it's
it's called American Dream.
American Dream. That's what it is.
There's also Beast Burger there, which I love the burgers
Uh,
there.
if it's still his or
If it's still the same. His
um,
name was or his face was still on all the advertising. But it's it is a mall. Like there is a
it reminds me of remember like old Nickelodeon, like the Mall of America. Like I think that still exists
yeah, that does.
in Minnesota.
Don't ask
Um, well, don't confirm it then.
me.
Um, but like it's kind of like this huge mall, and just you know go and like, be a mall rat ad type of
Yeah.
thing, and that's what it felt like. Is like man, there's like everything here.
So but the thing, it's like a supercharged mall because there's all these crazy things. Like the ski slope is on top of the parking garage. So we
Yeah,
were driving in and Justin was like, crazy that we're under the ski slope right now. I was like, what? that's kind of freaky. I don't wanna think about that too much. Um, but here's where I think it's weird is with that mall
Yes,
being
Rob.
as there's so much to do there, and I was talking to somebody else that lives in the city, one of our friends, she was gonna go to the mall on Monday to go do something, and I was like, "Oh, I didn't get to go there." She's like, "It's pretty much like you go there one one thing a day. Like, you cannot go do the water park and the amusement park and the Activate," and we went to Beast Burger, and, like, we did all these different you can't do it all in one day. There's too much to do there.
Mm, I
I
guess.
almost feel like they need to
I
have,
mean,
like,
oh,
a
no, okay, yeah.
hotel.
If you're thinking that sense of like, if you're gonna do the escape room or you're gonna go, because I don't know, like I feel like it's the mall, so you're gonna go a little bit ahead of time. Like if you got an escape room, you're gonna go to the mall for a little bit,
Yeah,
go to the escape room, go to the food court and eat.
maybe, but I feel like you could
Yeah,
especially with them having, like, an amusement park and a water park, they could slap a hotel in that mall and just sell it as like, a mini theme park experience.
yeah,
You could.
good.
Or you just stay at your friend's house 20 minutes away,
Yeah.
which is pretty dope. Um, yeah, there was this so the
Thank you, friend.
escape rooms that
There was an escape room, Katie.
the ones that we enjoy doing, the escape game, they had them there, which we should have looked to see which rooms
Dad
they
Vader.
had.
People soup.
Ugh.
That's the way the hot tubs are.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Rob says those shuttles to get to the rental cars at LaGuardia are crazy tested patience. Honestly,
Well, ours were fast, but they were fast. Like he was like,
oh yeah,
because we were, I think, the last ones
of the
of the
day to
day
pick up a car.
to pick up a car. Because like we got the rental and then everybody was leaving.
Like they walked out with us with their
And
purses and everything.
did you see like I think on the entrance somebody uh like somebody ran over the spikes. I don't think it was a worker. I think it was like another customer,
Oh,
but they were
really?
going out the inn and spiked their tires.
Well,
Because
not
I
their
just,
tires.
well, yeah.
Enterprise's
I don't know
tires.
if they were like,
Hertz's tires.
they were meaning to take the car or they were trying to get an extra deal or
I don't
something.
know. I did see that though.
Reza.
Those tires were flat. Why can't I talk today?
Mm.
I'm so nervous. Hey, Reza. Um,
Yeah, Julie, it was fun.
yeah,
It's like, if again, it feels like that old like mall rat type of feel.
it
You
felt like
go
how
and
malls used to be, like versus us going to our local mall and we're like
yeah, I think the
remember?
local mall is more like I'm gonna go and get what I need to get and then leave. Because
Yeah.
remember, like before, you would go and just like hang out, go to the arcade,
You can't, but
go
there's like no
go to the
entertainment.
bookstores go to the games. You would just like
Yeah.
go in all the stores, and then you'd go like to the new store and go see what they got.
Yeah. There's no like entertainment in the malls anymore. I mean, like, if you have the ones that have like the outside area, but it's all restaurants and stuff. Like, it's not. Although our son took me on a date yesterday, it was very, very sweet. And we went and ran to a couple places, and I was like, "Where do you want to go next?" Like, "Let's go to the mall." Like, okay. And I kept asking him, like, "What do you need at the mall?" He's like, "Nothing. Let's just go walk around." And I was like, and now that you're saying that, I'm like, "Oh my god, that's what we used to do every weekend.
Yeah.
Is just walk around the mall." It's, it's coming around.
Yes.
Dad Vader
Where
says, "Did you see the news?" So here,
that's the big elephant in the room that there was just like teasing it along.
no, I mean we can talk about it. Is it a rumor or is it confirmed? I assume it's confirmed.
I think at this point it's confirmed.
I
Like
feel like it was
there's
a
enough news outlets talking about it.
yeah.
Um,
I've only seen it say rumor when it's people talking about it, but all of the headlines and everything I've seen have said
and again,
it's
it's one of those
happening.
like it's not it's not done until it's done. And I think that's what Disney now. You just like can't believe it until it's done.
Yeah,
But I think this is one of those ones that it's pretty much done. The decision's made. But we were kind of talking about it
yeah.
when, we were scrolling and seeing that what was happening. Um, I was kind of I said it more of like not really thinking it, but I was like, I'm glad. I'm glad they're making it office. And I didn't really think about it until like you started saying it, but now there's not that, and not to be like cynical,
Oh,
like not
say
that
it.
glimmer of hope.
Yeah.
Like it's just kind of like, okay, it's done. Like it's done. There's no like, oh, like that sense of maybe it comes back, maybe it comes back. It's like no, now it's not coming back. Like they're gonna convert it, and it's not gonna be. Uh, we don't have to worry that, oh, it's gonna be a a shadow of what it was type of
Yeah.
thing. It's like it's done.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of people have some really strong reactions to the news, and of course it's bringing up like the whole 4-hour Star Cruiser video, and it's going to be this like resurgence of people on both sides of it
I
fighting very
I think
strongly.
that's the
There's the
hard.
people that experienced it
I
and loved it.
I think that's the thing that kind of annoyed me. Like we were talking to friends. I was like,
Reza
that's
being one of
yeah,
them.
resonance. But I think the thing is like that annoys me is if you didn't like it, that's fine. That's fine. It's gone. You win.
Yeah.
It's now you're just uh piling on to like you get nothing out of it. Like other than being mean. Like you're just like
Yeah.
literally just want to ruin somebody's day.
Well, okay, so it's like when Acolyte season 2 was canceled, right? It was a great show. It was amazing. We loved it personally. A lot of people didn't like it, and when it got canceled, like there was a lot of like strife in the Star Wars community over it. And when it got canceled, a lot of people celebrated. But even just recently they announced that it was like the second largest streaming show for Star Wars on Disney Plus of all of the shows that they've put out. And remember, they've put out Andor, which people love, Kenobi, Mando, Ahsoka, Bad Batch, all these shows that they've put out, and The Acolyte was the second largest of those. So it's like just like Galactic Star Cruiser, where it had the absolute highest customer satisfaction ratings or guest experience ratings of any park experience, but yet it's still closed. It's the same thing.
Yeah.
The people that experienced it and they went love it.
Like it shouldn't be a thing of it wasn't good. It was it
It
was
just
too
didn't.
early. It was uh the price was like for Disney to continue to put that effort like they weren't gonna like
Yeah,
again that's where it's like them people saying, oh well, it was gonna fail from the beginning. It's like, okay, I get it. Like you've already said that. You've
yeah.
said it before. Like
Come up with a different joke. I've
like
heard it 8 times. And that's not
uh
an exaggeration, Steven. But yeah, it's when I heard the news and I
Dad Vader, you missed it. It was now it's one of those things like, oh, like you had to
should
have
have
been
been
there.
there.
Yeah, you should have been there. Um,
Here's my thing with it though, and I feel like I'm
but
gonna
if you're going, Dad, okay, right there, I'm gonna
oh
point out. Said, but my wallet is happier I didn't go. Yes, but right now, right now, us planning to go to Japan is more than Star Cruiser,
way
and
more.
it better make me happy and make me
Better
life changing,
fix my life, you.
fix it all because it now I have expectations,
Yeah, yeah. Our
and
expectations
this
are
is just getting to
sky
Japan,
high. Yeah. Oh yeah,
getting to Japan and staying in Japan.
staying alive in Japan. We
Yeah,
don't know what we're doing.
well,
Um, Dad Vader, do you think Skeleton Crew suffered from the solo effect? Speaking of Acolyte, I don't know. I think people really like Skeleton Crew. Like we weren't super enthused, but it was fine. It was more Star Wars, which we love.
well, and I think the thing is like it's again it's a it's a good show. It's a good show. It's like it's fun. It's entertaining, but for us, it didn't hit the mark. It was just
No,
it felt like another show.
yeah,
It wasn't a thing of like, oh, like how is this playing into the whole start? Like I think that's the part that Star Wars and like the MC like these um these universes that these uh, movie, these production companies make.
Mhm.
They create these cinematic universes, and now it's got to connect. It's got to make sense. It's got to fit into this whole like you're not looking at um, these one-off movies of just kind of like, oh, it's just a movie. It doesn't have to have like any kind of connection to anything, any backstory, I mean, they have that stuff,
Yeah,
but it's not
yeah.
like
But once you start,
they're
like,
not
weaving
building,
that web,
20 movies.
yeah,
They're not trying to make sure that all connects and like they have just a beginning, middle, and end.
yeah,
And that's the complexity that now that Star Wars has. And because the fans are just so rabid of like, I want to know this one background alien. Like, I'm rooting for this guy. How do we make a story out of him?
yeah,
How does he survive this explosion on this barge? How does he survive this uh, explosion at this bar and this cantina type of like you make a story of it and then there's lore.
yeah,
So it's like I think that's where they have to battle with it, and then not everyone's going to be happy because I have this imagination where I think it should be this and more realistic. Where someone has like, oh no, this is like
yeah.
they're Sith.
But the thing is, even if we didn't agree with not that we didn't agree with it, but it just, like, it wasn't our jam, like, we're not gonna sit here and bash it. Like, you and I may, like, sit there and be like, "Oh, I didn't like that. They could have done something different here." But we're not gonna go out and, like, publicly bash it or make fun of the people that did like it. Like, if you liked it, amazing. Glad you found something
Yeah,
that makes you
but
happy
I think
because
that's the thing is like
there's
when
so little
somebody
to be happy about now.
but if somebody likes it, they're like, if you're kind of like, okay, what didn't I understand? What did you like about it? And then
Maybe
if
you can convince me.
you have a conversation,
Yeah,
not of taking people down, but just like, let me hear your take on
yeah.
it. And then you have a different perspective on it. And you're like, oh, I didn't think about that.
And I think that was one of the big points of contention with Star Cruiser is the people that were against it and never would have gone, like, not like you, Dad Vader, but, like, the people that always saw it as negative because of the price point, and they were completely unwilling to change their minds on it. Like,
Yeah.
there were just people that were against it, and they were against anybody who they deemed foolish enough to spend that kind of money on it. And then there's the people that did get to go on it and fell in love with it, and even if you did say, "No, I loved it, it was great, it was worth every penny," then you feel like a jerk because 'cause you're like, "Okay, well, I spent, like, $5,000 on this experience, and it was worth every penny." Like, you almost feel, like, guilty about enjoying it because even though you spent your like, it was just this weird dichotomy of this experience, but once the news came out today, honestly, it wasn't like a, "Oh, Star Cruiser news, like, it's over." But I think my relationship with Star Cruiser, because I already had to, like, have this like, everybody mourned Star Cruiser when it was closing, but having to call every day and try to get cancellations and everything, like, I don't I th I think back fondly on Star Cruiser, but it's very bittersweet because the way that it ended for me with Star Cruiser, just it was not happy. Like, and so hearing this news, I was almost like, "Good, now there's no that's over." Like, we've seen the body, we've seen the carcass there for a year and a half now. At least now we know that that carcass is getting put in the ground and it's never gonna get resurrected.
Yeah.
We're not gonna try to bring this thing back to life in any different way because if they did bring it back, it wouldn't like you were saying, it wouldn't have been the same.
Yeah.
So it's just like, good, it's done.
It would have been a cheap imitation of it. And I think that was for me that where I didn't want to come back in that sense because they would have just cheapened it.
Exactly.
And
So,
then those naysayers would have been like, see, that's why it failed.
yeah. I don't know. I felt some peace about it. Now, I really did like that meme though. I don't know, Reza, if it was you that sent it, but it was like, well, it was on X, I think, but it was like time to fire up Excel, and it
Uh,
was a spreadsheet in the window in the cafe. I don't know why that
but
tickled me
but
so
I mean,
much, but it did.
so I was kind of like again logistically thinking like it is a well made like office space. They have a cafeteria. They have like Sublight's probably gonna change to it. Like again, I would want to
It'll be a conference room.
yeah. Well, all those things would be conference rooms,
Yeah.
but I would want to see it like in
I
and an
would
office
love
space.
to see it as an office space because are they gonna completely strip out everything that's Star Wars in there that they can?
I think the tech they're gonna try to take, like they're gonna try to reuse it,
They'll
whatever.
yeah, they'll I mean, they'll take out, like, the hollow sabacc table and all of that stuff, but, like, are they gonna take out the screens in the bridge and the console? They have to take out the consoles in order to, like, put in tables or working space or whatever. But, like, the lightsaber training pod, are they gonna they're gonna have to leave some of that stuff there.
No, I think those are just well, I
They're
mean,
just gonna strip everything,
yeah,
and then
I
the
say
climate simulator still stays the climate
it's the
simulator.
smoking area out there. Uh, yeah, I think they're gonna salvage what like everything they can for other things, and so it'll just be more like just remnants of it.
You know what's gonna be crazy too is, like well, one
Oh, that would be good, Dad Vader, but we'll see.
yeah, they won't. I don't sorry. I feel
Of
so
him.
I feel
Hey,
so, like,
hey, Harvey.
negative not negative Nancy about it, but I don't know. Something about this announcement just gave me peace. Like, "Okay, great. Now" I've always felt like it was never gonna come back in, like, any kind of capacity, or maybe I was hopeful that it wouldn't just because it would taint it, but now I'm like, "Good, now nobody else has hope either. We're all on
Well,
the same
the
page."
we're all hopeless.
We're all hopeless.
No, I think for me, I'd ha- I think I heard it from somebody else. They're like, oh, they're probably gonna turn it into office space
It's been a rumor for a really
from
long
like when it
time.
first
Yeah.
happened, and so I was like, it's not it wasn't my idea, but for me, that was the most
Oh
like,
my goodness, have a great flight. Dad loves Disney's on a plane right now. And
yeah.
we'll see you next week.
But I think that's where it was like my head like to give me the closure was like, oh, that's what they're gonna do with it. They're gonna turn it into an office like
I mean, as soon as
office
you
space.
say
Like
office space, you're like, "Yeah, that makes a lot of sense."
yeah.
It makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, it's not the best laid out office space, but if
So
you're
when
gonna
people
do something
But yeah, but so when people were like, "Oh, they're gonna," I was like, I don't
dibs on
think so.
Grand Captain Suite.
Like, I don't think so. I
You
don't think so.
imagine you're like, "Oh, can you step into my office?" And you open the little droid door and you have to crawl through. Oh, man.
um,
I here's I have one request and one request only from this whole them turning it into offices. I just wanna see pictures of it as an office. That's all. I just wanna see
yeah.
pictures. I don't you don't even if
Uh,
you're out there and
Mary
you're an
says, "How long did it take
Imagineer
them to actually remove the Star Cruiser signs?" Yeah, that's always like, again, it's kind of like I don't know, I wouldn't say a punch in the gut, but you're just kind of like, because you still see the signs up there.
right? It's false hope. Um, office can also mean different things, testing, rehearsal, staging, etcetera. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. Storage. It could just be a bunch of costume storage.
yeah.
I mean, it's close enough to Batu. Who
I mean,
knows?
it's yeah.
You know what I think is interesting though is I think I had seen that there are Imagineering offices just behind Launch Bay in Hollywood Studios. And so when they announced the Monsters Inc. land, it
That's
was
what we
like,
thought they were gonna.
oh, well, if they're moving everybody out of those offices, then it's clearly going to go in Launch Bay. And then they announced, no, it's going to go where Muppets was. And it was like, oh, so why did they move those people out?
Yeah.
Mm. Um,
There's
Somebody said, do you think a Star Wars themed hotel would do okay? Not full immersion. A themed hotel Star Wars, like one of the other properties would do. No, I don't. Not enough to
no, I think it would.
operate.
Yes. No, no, no. I think it absolutely would. Like it wouldn't be. I think the way we see the immersive part of it, like Galaxy's Edge, no, we would see like a memorabilia like theming, like the it would look like Oga's, but it would be like a here's a Darth Vader statue. Like it's gonna see you're gonna see stuff like that.
It
Like
would
right,
be like
it wouldn't be you're going into a hotel.
it's super niche, but it would be like the Art of Marvel Hotel at Disneyland Paris, where it's just like a beautiful hotel, but then yeah, it's like a museum where they would have like they had Iron Man suits, up, and then they have like a mural, and then they have a bar that would was is basically like Hyperspace Lounge on the Wish.
Yeah.
And then maybe they had like a restaurant and the rooms are lightly themed. You could possibly do that. My only
But
why I
again,
say it
it
wouldn't be successful is there's not a lot of people that go to Batu. Like honest, like really and truly that are big Star Wars fans. It's not I don't think that there's enough people there for them to center an entire resort around Star Wars.
yeah.
They have to theme it around a location or a culture versus an IP in order for it to book out. So contemporary is like mid-century modern, and then they brought in Incredibles theming, which Incredibles isn't the draw of it. It's just that that's when that movie takes place. Same with the Polynesian. It's very much like Polynesian culture, and then they added in Moana, but
Yeah.
it's not a Moana hotel.
Yeah. So it's
You
like
know what I'm saying?
it
Like,
there's something else there, and here's like some Star Wars rooms.
right.
So
Yeah.
it'd have to be like space,
And
the
then you have
future
like
or something, and then here's Star
or you
Wars
know what it's
rooms.
gonna be? It's gonna be like art of animation, and there's the Star Wars section, and then there's the Toy Story section, and then
Yeah.
there's the I don't know. I can't think of any other. What are some other like space themed IPs that Disney owns?
I don't know.
Guardians of the Galaxy. Yeah, you could do that.
Jace says there's
Office Space, a Star Wars movie.
they have liquidate the supplies. I want in on that. Yeah.
Oh
I,
heck yeah.
I'm surprised they haven't started doing like other stuff. Um, a reboot of The Office house.
I think it's below our pay grade to even know when they auction off that stuff though. You know?
Yeah.
Like I feel like that's gonna be like a super secretive thing.
Now that idea of The Office in that like it could be a it
Could
feels
you
like
imagine?
it feels like a like it that could be a premise of a show. It was like it's a converted like movie set or something,
I
and they're like it's an office space.
I would love to like rebuild a few of the sets and just like make our own like internet series. Except it's just me and you. uh Julie says we ran into a couple in Batu that were huge Star Wars fans and they wished Star Cruiser was a hotel and we kept trying to explain it was like being in a Star Wars movie. That's
Again, it's different. Like I think it would do
built
well.
different.
It would do like again. It's like the what's the Tatooine
Yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
hotel. It's like Star Wars themed, and that's even more like immersive feeling where you're like getting to be in it. But
I think yeah.
I don't think they would have a hotel like that.
And here's so that's out in the middle of nowhere though.
Yeah,
So like if you're gonna go to that, like your sole purpose for that trip is to go
be
to
Star Wars.
be in Star Wars. It's like in Utah. I don't. It's in the desert somewhere. Um, but it's very small. It's very niche. It's probably priced pretty steeply because it's more of an experience. Think about a Disney resort where there are 600 rooms. They're not going to fill 600 rooms a night.
Yeah,
People that go and I
and you got to think of like the theming in the rooms. They're not gonna go like Disney in general. They've cut back on the theming. It's very
everything's
much like
so sterile,
it's
and then
more
there's
that
like
sterile look. So you're gonna get
a picture on the
well, you're gonna
wall.
get like what Universal did with the new space what you call it?
Yeah,
Like that's gonna be what Star like instead of an astronaut, they have a Star Wars model.
yeah,
Instead of a shuttle, they're gonna have an X-wing. Like that's all they would do.
yeah.
So
But I just don't think there's enough. There's not enough Star Wars fan traffic or any kind of traffic to drive. Like, oh, even this. Okay, so you can go to Port Orleans Riverside and you can book a royal guest suite in which you are a royal guest of I think it's Tiana, but it's basically like all of the princess. It's Tiana specifically, but it's all of the princesses, and so they've left things behind in the room. So there's the magic carpet that's like built into the carpet. The faucet is like a magic lamp, but then there's other things around the room that are themed to the other princesses. But it's a small section of a larger resort where you can do that. So I think if they were going to pull off a Star Wars hotel, it would be a section of an existing hotel.
I
final
mean,
answer.
I think the idea of them of hotels having the really themed, like, and I think that's because, um, like in Japan, they have like the Pokemon rooms
Yeah.
type of thing. So it's a normal hotel, but there's like suites that are themed Pokemon.
Yeah.
Like that makes the most sense.
It makes the most sense.
So it's like all these resorts, they have like super themed ones, which you're probably going to be paying a pretty penny.
It's a deluxe for
But
sure.
even for what if it's a deluxe hotel, you're gonna pay a premium for those rooms. They're not gonna have like all the rooms set up to be just that.
Picture this, a hotel, and it just starts with this one hotel. Let me set the scene.
All right, let me close my
Close your
eyes.
eyes. You book a hotel for a Disney vacation. You're a huge Star Wars fan. You know that you're going to be spending most of your time at Hollywood Studios. You would love a hotel where you could just walk there instead of waiting for the Skyliner, because on your last trip you realized it can take a full 30 minutes to get from Pop Century to Epcot on the Skyliner.
Yeah.
So you're like, you know what? If I could walk this, that would be really nice. And so there's this new hotel that's opened up, and it is all of the main land from Hollywood Studios, and you can book into whichever section you want. You have a Star Wars section, you have a Toy Story section, you have like a weird Frozen section,
Twilight Zone
and then
section,
you have like
a Monsters Inc. section.
a Monsters Inc. section. There was going to be a Muppet section, but now it's
Is that
just
too
puppets
soon?
behind the front desk. And then there's a bar themed to the Tip Top Club of Tower of Terror. That to me, but it's walking distance to Hollywood Studios. Oh, you want to stay at Magic Kingdom? There's an Adventureland area. There's a Fantasyland area. There's a Tomorrowland area.
Yeah. I think
Frontierland if
again
you
it's
really
just,
wanted.
but and then Rob's saying, I think that's the best outcome. Disney Cruise Line brings back Star Wars Day again. Right now, I think the biggest hurdle with Star Wars is the fans,
100%.
and Disney doesn't know what to do with it, like what kind of money to put towards it, because they can't seem to get Star Wars fans to agree on anything.
Star Wars fans collective, we are our own worst enemies. We love Star Wars, and we love Star Wars so personally that any other version of Star Wars than what we love it as, we don't like that. That's not my Star Wars. Rather than just accepting, oh cool, that's Star Wars. And if you like that, that's cool for you. I'm not my flavor, but still Star Wars.
I don't know.
Star Wars Days at
But
Sea.
I think too, it's like the different generations. Like that was adventure to us growing up.
Yeah.
Now there's other things. There's the Stranger Things. There's these other, they don't have Goonies. They have Stranger Things. They have, you know maybe Skeleton Crew. That grass got
Yeah.
them. Or because of the internet, we have every other, you know, content creator that can create content in
Well,
that sense. If it's movies, it's stories, it's whatever.
and you're hitting the nail on the head. We now have access to every media that ever existed, except for, as Rob's saying, the re-release of the non-special or the
Oh,
non-special OG trilogy. Um Non-special edition. They're all
the
special.
original,
The
original,
original
original.
original. Um but yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's for in terms of Star Wars Days at Sea, here's the trends that we've seen, right? There was Star Wars Days at Sea. They stopped doing them in order to push Batuu and to push Star Cruiser. So they stopped putting any budget towards Cruise Line. Cruise Line is its own entity. It is not the same as the parks. So Disney Cruise Line does not have a large budget for Star Wars. They basically took it from there and put it to the parks. They pushed Batuu, they pushed Star Cruiser. Star Cruiser, I'm not going to say failed. Star Cruiser closed. So now we're without. We still have Batuu, but like it's filled with people wearing their matching Disney shirts and not understanding what Tip Yip is. What's interesting, and I thought they were going to completely neglect it because I hound our Disney reps frequently about Star Wars Days at Sea, is that they had those, what were they? The BD4?
PDX,
BDX droids,
the little
those little,
chicken
like the
walkers.
chicken walker, like the little booty shaker droids that they had play tested in Disneyland and they had out for Season of the Force last year. They had them on the Wish. Actually, they're still on the Wish right now, just for this one voyage that was happening Monday through Friday this week. Only one voyage. So they're testing something. But what? What are they testing?
Yeah.
But I do think that this opens the doors and they are getting maybe seeing what the temperature is of like, oh, well, we have these droids. Let's just put them on the cruise line for a thing. Like, let's just put a little snippet out there about it and see how the fans react to it. But also, like, almost like quite literally, the world's on fire right now. So nobody was I don't think it got the hype that it probably should have. And I probably should have pushed it because anything Star Wars on the cruise
Yeah.
ships would be great.
Julie, that's always a talk. Would OG have done better? I think it's so difficult to say if OG would have been better because again, you have different like yes, the OG generation would probably have the most financial flexibility to do more things, but does it mean that they still are passionate and want to spend money on OG things?
I also think you have a limited pool of people that you could have tapped for OG Star
That's
Wars.
what I'm saying. Is like
Yeah,
it's is it yes, it's the one that was originally loved, but
right.
would it continue to be loved the way it was?
I don't know that the answer is would it continually be loved, is that would it capture the next generation enough that they would want to save up and go to that? Because Star Wars is for kids and it's gross, but we live in a capital world, in a material world, and it's not a secret that, that you market to kids a lot because you want to shape them into being loyal fans of your brand so that they continue to spend money with your brand.
Yeah.
And so I think if you had geared it to not too old, but an older generation, I don't think you would have captured the younger consumer.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying is like it would have been more like, oh, that's you know,
Grandpa stuff.
that's grandpa stuff. I'm not gonna watch it.
Yep. The chat's moving really fast. Random Recess is in here, which they're a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful channel that I got to
Travel channel.
travel channel, YouTube channel, that I got to voyage with on the Icon earlier this year. But they asked about Star Wars Days at Sea coming back. I honestly, because they haven't announced, or they've already announced the itineraries through the beginning of, or the middle of 2026, I would not see Star Wars Days at Sea coming back until 2027 at the earliest.
Cargo Bay built hour. Yes. I think the theming of Cargo Bay is
Amazing.
in my head is like what you think of like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like if they themed that and put hyperspace look like that, I would have been like, "Oh, this is my place."
God. Dude,
But like hyperspace for me was underwhelming, and especially compared to when you said
I really need you
the
to
Haunted Mansion
experience Haunted
one.
Mansion because you're going to be like, we love Haunted Mansion.
Yeah.
It's a great ride, but it's not
And even too, like
9
that
movies
theming
and
is more on theme with like that Oga's feel than even like Star Cruiser was, because again, there
yeah,
was that clean aesthetic, which again I understood because for the hotel aspect
it's a
of it.
pleasure cruise. But Hyperspace Lounge makes absolutely no sense, especially when you have Cargo Bay downstairs. Like,
Yeah,
they should have made it more grungy and more Oga's like rather than Canto Bight. Especially because on a cruise ship, you don't have to go
it's not theming to the ship.
you don't have to go too deep in the theming. You just have to do a light. You have to make it inherently Star Wars. You have to be able to walk into that room and say Star Wars.
Yeah,
And you couldn't do that in Hyperspace Lounge.
yeah,
Like, you absolutely could not do that.
yeah.
You could have been like, that's Star Trek. And you're like, no.
Harder look.
Yeah,
Look
look
at the ships.
closer. Yeah. Yeah. Basically,
Yeah. Uh,
not to poop on the hyperspace. I do enjoy it. I really love that Woodford Reserve drink. Not understanding what tip yip is a sick burn. It's my go-to burn for
for
the
non, I
casual Batu.
don't even know what tip yip is.
Know what tip yip is? Seinfeld were old and dying. Just let it go.
My kids. I don't get why I love OG. Them Luke and Ben.
Oh,
Our kid would have been named Luke. Like that's how serious I was.
yes. Like really and truly, our kid for yeah, very much was about to be Luke. Um, Not OG was not the problem to me. Main problem was marketing. Stuff they did was not good. Most people didn't know it existed, and if they did, they didn't understand it. Yep, it was almost entirely a marketing problem, and I don't know why they didn't care to invest any money in marketing it.
No, I think that is because Disney's they're used to us talking about it. They're used to people like word of mouth,
Yeah,
and it just spreads like wildfire.
but the thing is most of that stuff that's new that can spread like wildfire is accessible via park ticket
That's true.
or a one night stay at the new Polynesian Tower.
Yeah.
It's a few $100s to experience for the content creators that are going to go out and experience it day one. And Star Cruiser wasn't that, and really there wasn't a huge amount of content creators that were covering it in the early days.
Hmm.
Like it was just I don't know.
Rob, hyperspace is likely going to become Haunted Mansion when the Wish dry docks. Not confirmed, but my best theory. That would be sad because again, they're taking more Star Wars away. But again, it's
Honestly,
like understandable because you're kind of like, wow, that's better theming. It's more fun.
I would not be mad at that in the least if they turned it into a haunted mansion bar, but they won't do that. And my guess for that, or my reason for why I don't think they would do that, is because the haunted mansion parlor is specific to the Wish because that's more of the park and
Treasure
attraction or
or the
treasure. Sorry, the treasure is a parks and attractions themed ship, whereas the Wish is more about, I don't know why. Honestly, I don't know why they have a Star Wars bar on that ship when they have Tiana's and Rapunzel. It is a princess ship. So why don't they do Snuggly Duckling? Period. Why don't they do this? No, they don't have
well, no, that
anything
one
Rapunzel
would be
themed.
the other one, the more bar.
That was like a
What's
different bar. Oh,
yeah,
the where the Periscope one is.
yeah,
Keg and Ale or Ale and Compass.
something like that. Yeah,
Ale and Compass.
I think that would be more fitting of the
Okay, so
Snuggly Duckling, but yeah, yeah, I mean, I know what you're saying,
yeah,
but
yeah,
I
yeah.
think
Spitball with me though.
okay,
What could we put? What would be
princess
more
theme.
in line with the Wish? Because what's on the Wish right now is the Arendelle, the Frozen Dining Experience. There is the Worlds of Marvel, which that's just kind of like around to get the dads and the superhero kids excited about going on a princess cruise. 1923, which is kind of a staple. You have Tiana's Bayou.
It has to be a dark. Uh, they can make it like the new one, a Wish movie
Yeah, good.
because it's dark. She could have magic, have those change the screens to be more open, like it's
Showing
from a
people's
terrace type of thing.
wishes.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
Because she lived in a castle
Could you imagine like
and it's on the Wish, so it's like it's more.
no, it's like the library in Beast's Castle. I mean, you have Be
But it
Our
has to be
Guest
dark.
already.
That's the thing is like
That
that.
is dark. The West Wing.
Oh, so you're doing the
I'm saying like Beauty and the Beast. Like let's go
yeah,
old
but
school.
the library was bright. Remember when he opened up the
Oh, okay. So then maybe the West Wing.
okay, so they'd
I
have
don't
to
know.
grunge it up more.
They'd have yeah. I don't know. I think that I could definitely see them retheming it. But man, I would love for them to have the Haunted Mansion parlor on the Wish because then that's a 3 or 4 night cruise versus a 7 night, so it's way more affordable.
Sweetheart's Night at Disneyland now has face characters on it. Gotta buy into it. Yeah.
Yep. Uh should the kids should have been Luke and Han. My wife refused. Now they're Luke and Ben. I still won.
You're like, oh, well, how about Ben? Um,
Tip Yip is what Give a Star Wars waiter for good service. Julie says, I wish they would have used Sunfield's videos to market it. It shows the true experience. It really did. Sunfield
Yeah.
did an amazing job, like capturing all of that and still being in the moment, which that's why we're the world's worst vloggers. We have so many like started vlogs and they'll never see the light of day because we're like, all right, let's see if we can do it. We should just do a supercut of like, all right, the beginning of a trip. Let's see what all we cover on this one because we failed last time. And it's that like a dozen times.
So while the immersion was amazing, the cost was too high. About 4 years ago, got to stay at the actual Lars homestead, fully refurbished, 3 nights, inclusive, for less than $1,000 minus airfare. You got to include the airfare. Got to get there. Because
No,
like
but I mean like
Japan, well, I'm saying because
for
people like
Japan.
you start taking like, well, don't include this, don't include that, and you're like, no, that costs a lot. Like, would you say, oh, here's Japan, but take out the airfare cost? No, you got to get
You have
there.
to get there. No, but I mean just like anywhere. Like the cost of Star Cruiser,
Us getting to
you
Florida didn't cost us any more than us going to Florida.
no, I know. That's what I'm saying though. Is like we could go to Florida and we could use our annual passes. Oh, we need to renew our annual passes. Or we could go to Florida and go to Star Cruiser. Like it was the getting to Florida part was
I'm more
the
saying that
same.
I feel like we are on 2 Star Cruiser trips now for Japan. That's
Mhm.
just for flights and hotels.
Yeah, it's gross. It's very gross. I
So
am like
it better change my life the
so I
way
say it's
Star
like
Cruiser did.
that meme, you better fix my life. Little.
So
I actually think you got a really good deal to stay in the Lars homestead for less than $1,000 for 3 nights all inclusive.
yeah,
Like that's
that's
cheaper than a cruise. So don't flex on that because that's cheaper than yeah, that's like way cheaper than a cruise. I think you have to liken it to a cruise, but it was more than that because you were immersed in a story the whole time. And that's the hard part is if you did Star Cruiser, you then felt like, oh, this really was worth the price. I just don't feel like we're going to do that when we leave Japan.
again right now I have expectations. Like I better get something that's life changing.
Yeah.
That
Um,
not cost me more. And it's not an egg salad or egg sandwich.
Sandwich. Your Mexicans showing, brother.
That's like not a 7-Eleven sandwich is not gonna change my world. So
Yzma's lair, but it would need a coaster slide down to it. Oh my god.
well,
And
they
then they
have
could have
like
the
the slide over there.
poisons.
They have the slide like right next
I
door.
would love that. Psh, I've had too much. Psh, pull the lever, Kronk. I will never agree the cost was too high. It was it was very expensive.
Yeah.
The cost was not too high, but it was very expensive. But they just didn't market it as like it truly was a very, very high luxury experience.
Well, I think it no, I think it was it didn't have levels of
No,
cost. That's the
no.
thing. Is like because you could look at a uh what's the concierge club or the in the cruise ships.
Concierge. Yeah, concierge.
How much do those rooms cost for a 3-night sailing?
I mean, it depends on the ship. But like on the Wish, it was 5,000.
It's Star Cruiser.
Yeah.
So it just didn't have the other options of like, oh no, I don't want all that. I don't want all the fun. Let me just stay there.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. Is like they didn't have levels. It was only one level. Everybody got to have the
The
whole
same
experience.
experience. Yeah.
Everybody got to have concierge,
Yeah.
or everybody had to have concierge. It wasn't just like, oh, let me
It's
just
not
have
like,
a
oh, you're special.
let me have a cabin over here with no window, no, you know,
Yeah.
inside cabin.
Well, because even when we did the Grand Captain Suite,
You don't do any of the adventure, any of the stories. You're not
no.
including any of that.
It was like when you were in public, you had all of the same experience. It was just like we had really like the only benefit of being in the Grand Captain Suite is we got like extra snacks in the room. Like really and truly. Lower Tokyo expectations. I've heard those crowds are unreal. Yeah.
Nate says Peter and Kitcher keep going. Again, the other thing is they're two, Nate. It's two of them. We are four. There's four. Like their 2 trips is one of our trips.
Yeah. Yeah, hotel rooms. Maybe we need to do like just a live stream on planning for Tokyo and we all just get together and be like, all right, here's the restaurants we're looking at. Here's all the Pokemon centers that you've put on our
Thank you,
list.
Rob. I mean, that's what I'm doing the entire time of just kind of like tampering my expectations. But again, when you're making this investment, you're kind of like, dude. Anyway, I haven't even gotten there yet.
You saw me, and if Naomi's still in here, she and I we've commiserated like almost daily on, oh my God, have you looked at plane
Yeah.
tickets today? Like Naomi and I literally were looking at plane tickets every single day for 3 or 4 months waiting for the flights to come down. And guess what? They never did.
Lost Princess. I've done Concierge on the Wish, and Star Cruiser was better.
Yeah.
Again, it's how you want to spend your money. It what you get out of it.
Yeah.
And again, I don't doubt that, I'm making fun. It's in jest about Japan. It's somewhere that I've always wanted to go, so I'm excited for that sense. But again, it's perspective when you
Yeah.
start looking at like, oh, here's things that I've done, and here's things that I'm gonna do, and you could kind of evaluate in that sense.
I think it's also difficult because we've never been before. And just like with Star Cruiser, we did not know what we were getting into. We just had limited information that was available online and
Y-
nobody had
Now
experienced it.
we have choice overload, so we're kind of like,
That's it, is the choice overload. Is there's just so much to do. It's not like go to a theme park and then you're in Magic Kingdom all day and there's so many things that you can do in Magic Kingdom. It's like you're in a completely different part of the world. You don't understand anything. They don't understand you. Go. You're
yeah,
like, what do I do?
yeah. So
Gonna be it's great. That's our mine and my daughter's she so our daughter is a tinkerer and I'm having to learn to accept this that she loves to take apart machines in our house
oh, I
to
like
figure out
that, Jamel.
how they work. And she recently took apart this is the second label maker she's taken apart to figure out how it works. And now it's I think forever broken. But she had printed on it, it just said over and over again, "It's great, it's great, it's great." And where it came from was the Wicked movie when Glinda shows Elphaba the like tiny corner of their shared room that they have. She'd written like a little note on the bed, and then she repeats it, and she's like, "It's great." So that's been like her shtick the last few days. um Rob says there's a lot to know about Tokyo. I've heard it's amazing, but prepare like hard. There's so much to know about how their parks work. Yep, little Elfie. She's gonna go see Dogman the movie because our Dogman has taken
Thing.
over our house. And
Bye.
this is how this is how we've shaped our kids is our daughter comes to me after school today and she's like, we need costumes for the movie. And um, I was like, we don't have things to make like Dogman costumes. Like we just don't have that stuff readily available. She was like, I don't know what we're gonna do. Like she was kind of like stressed about it. She's like, we're going to a big event and we are not dressing up in costume. She does still have the books, Therese. She did get us to start reading them. So at least they're in use now.
Yeah.
Dogman opens tomorrow. Yep. It's truly like the kids went crazy for Dogman. I'd never heard of Dogman before, like ever. And one of their friends is like obsessed with it. And we're like, okay, we'll try.
Yeah, here's a book.
Here's a book. And what do you know? They loved it. There is a lot to do in Tokyo. That's just Tokyo. Osaka has a lot to do. You just got to be selective and know what you want to do. That's the hard part. And so when I said that we have like 7 main things going on at once, our Tokyo trip is in like 2 months.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have all of our lodging, we have our flights finally. Like I was crying when I booked our flights because I literally looked at flights for every day for no joke 3 or 4 months.
Yep.
And being able to check that part off was like, and they were non-refundable, and it was like thousands of dollars. I was like, like, well, we're
Mhm.
officially going now. But now that I've done that, it's like, okay, we have a place to stay and we have a way to get there. I'm like burnt out on planning it. I'm like,
Yeah.
we'll just go
Well,
to every Pokemon Center. I don't even care. Like, we'll just go to every Pokemon Center. Give me a Snorlax.
that's it. Just keep searching Pokemon.
I want, here's what I want. I want the Russian dolls version of Snorlaxes, but I want them in plushies. So they don't need to like fit inside one another, but I just want to
You want to
progressively buy,
collect just Snorlaxes?
I guess so. Yeah, I'm a collector. I have one. But today, when I was on my conference call at Target, we saw an even bigger Snorlax than the one I had. And I was like, oh,
I think they sell like the big beanbag or like even like life size, like just huge ones, but you have to fill it up yourself. I think they just sell you the sack.
my dream. And I
Mm.
want it weighted too. I love a weighted plush. And the Snorlax plushes aren't weighted. So I think I'm going to have to take matters into my own hands.
Do a weighted blanket and put it in there.
And I could, like a tauntaun, I could climb. Oh, I could sleep inside the Snorlax. And then
Oh,
just,
remember that they had that like April Fool's joke of a tauntaun, and then they ended up making it.
it was a sleeping bag.
Oh, speaking of that,
Whoa,
uh,
tangents.
yeah, tangent right here. So
Alert, alert.
alert. I think I saw something where Hasbro is kind of getting out of making toys. They're gonna be like an IP holding and basically license the IPs or license the license, I guess,
They can't do that.
to like third party people to make the toys. So we're probably gonna we're gonna start to see less toys being made.
I,
Like less action
there's
figures
a
and stuff.
lot swirling around up in this dome.
Yeah.
One is
Somebody else
there's no
like the
way that
toy
they can,
people out
but you
there, the
can't,
collectors.
you can't
Again,
like,
not the collectors, more the toy people.
but you can't own a license and then sublet your license. I don't think that's possible.
Well, but they're third party making for them, for Hasbro. So like they're not making the toys anymore. They're just hiring like I'm hiring Serico to design and make me a toy. And then
Oh,
I make sure it hits all
so they're
the
just middlemaning it, but
yeah.
it's still sold under the Hasbro name.
Yeah.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, Tree says the Jigglypuff and a Pikachu, dude. And then Rob says we need a real Jigglypuff. Don't get me started, because I will sing that Jigglypuff lullaby.
Put us to sleep.
There was the cutest Jigglypuff plushie because we need new our
Yeah, Brent, I need to talk to Gabe.
oh yeah. Our
But see, again, he's
pillows,
collectors, so it's like those are typically. Sorry.
he may know. Talk to Nelda. Nelda's a toy person too. And Victoria. Um our pillows in our living room, this is thrilling information. Our pillows in our living room were super nasty, and I eventually just got sick of them and we're not using them anymore. So now we don't have pillows. And I just love to sit with a pillow like this on my lap. But we don't have any more. And so we went to Target today, and I was like, I want colorful. I need color in my life. Like, it's too beige in our living room. And they didn't have anything. It was all like muted, sad colors. And so we walked by the plushie aisle, and there was a rainbow of Pokemon plushies. And you were like, I mean, just get a couple of those, and that's all we need for pillows.
Yeah.
I was
See,
like,
so what Rob is saying, Nike and Crocs do. They don't make the shoes; they manage the brands.
but yeah, but I'm surprised that Hasbro wasn't doing that already.
Again, there's a percentage that they uh
That they do make, and
like
they're just like,
no, but like paying them, like I'm gonna pay you less money, or I'm gonna pay you whatever percentage, so I'm still getting money for not doing anything other
yeah,
than making sure it's quality
middle
enough.
management.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah.
Um,
Dustin said, "What airline did you settle on for Japan?" I'm gonna tell you, and I don't want your opinions. um, because it's a sketchy choice. But well, I don't know if it's a sketchy choice or not. But yeah, if it's bad, don't tell me. We booked our flights through Zip Air, so it's a newer
they're
airline.
non-refundable, so
Yeah, don't say anything. um, It's Zip Air. It's a newer airline that's been operating for the last few years, but they only fly out of like a handful of American cities, and they fly directly into Narita Airport. Um, but they're very much like a Frontier or a like a Spirit airline where you have to pay extra for everything. Which I was honestly, when I was pricing out like Delta and American, I was seeing the same things too. So and United. So we didn't get the lie flats because
A
one,
little
they were
one.
like 4 times the price, but our little one's too young for us to have booked the lie flats anyway. Um, but yeah, so their Zip Air is just starting to fly out of Houston starting in March of this year. And for the longest time, they only had March dates on their calendar, and they finally opened up like 2 weeks ago. And I was checking their website every day too. So I'm like panic searching like all the airlines, but I'm waiting for Zip Air, and finally it opened up. So I was like, what if it's just a test and they do it for a month and then they're like, nope. But they opened it up, and it was literally half the price of the next cheapest option for us,
Which was,
United.
and there was a
No, 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 no,
layover,
no. It was ANA. So it was a Japanese airline.
but there was a layover in
We were gonna
LA or something
no,
like that.
they were direct, but we were going to fly into Tokyo and then take a flight to Osaka. But because we're doing Zip Air, we're not doing that anymore. We're just gonna figure it out on the trains. But it was literally half the price. It was gonna be $8,200 for the four of us to fly the almost nearly the cheapest option on ANA, which was the cheapest airline I could find besides Zip Air, and then Zip Air was $4,100. A crime, an absolute crime. Economy.
Night Carrie.
Good night.
Thank you for coming.
Truly though,
Yeah.
a crime. Like, how do they charge economy? I'm gonna have to buy compression socks. I hear a car alarm going off. Highway robbery, airway robbery. It's I want like, and then you get like one meal, but that's how you get on any of them.
Yeah.
You know what? This car alarm, we probably should log off. That's probably my car.
Hold on,
My
let me see.
broken.
Here, you chat. I'm
You
gonna
want me to
check.
just song and dance for a
Yeah.
bit? My key is on the hook. So okay, let me explain my car troubles and how I'm magnetized now that I have you and Steven can't say anything different. So I have just like a fob, and so you get close to it and it unlocks the car, and you like touch the side of the handle and it unlocks it. It is my car. He just opened the garage door. Um so can you hear it? It's really loud. You mean do a jig? Um, so anyway, so the proximity wasn't working yesterday, and then when we went to take the kids to school this morning, my car, you could not even unlock it with the fob. Like the car was just dead. And so took the other car and my battery was dead. And so when I got back and we were like, okay, we can go take it to, AutoZone where I bought the battery and go get it replaced. We jumped the car, and when he once I didn't want to jump it because I've only jumped the car once and it scared me. Because Steven wasn't around. But when he put the last cable on, as he was putting the cable on, my horn went off, and I've never heard that happen before where your horn goes off because it's not like I don't know. But it was super funny. It was so close to his head too. I felt really bad. But why? It's not the fob because I have 2 fobs for my car, and I tried it because I went and grabbed the other fob and I was like, "Oh, maybe it is," but it was the fob works. It's the car that doesn't work. So anyway, so that was our whole day. So I went to AutoZone. They said, "No, the battery's fine." It wasn't fine. So then I had to take it to the dealership, and then they said, "Take it back to AutoZone." And so here we stand. I hope that doesn't happen overnight though. It was my car. Why was it doing that? How did you get it to stop? I just told my whole story. Battery tender, flickle tickles. What was it called? A trickle charger. That's what it was.
The chicken charger tender.
Chicken charger.
Um, yeah, I don't know. So
How'd you get it to turn off?
I turned the car on. It
Oh
was
my
like it was the
God.
alarm, but I don't. It's going off again. Um, And
I think that's a good
I
time.
think with that,
Our alarm's going off. We must leave now. It's like the end of Star Cruiser where the alarms are blaring and we all have to go to muster station. We have to go to our muster station, guys.
until next time, we love you guys.
Bye.
Later.